Mr. Elmer's Music Club.
Okay, look at this first chart. I want you to start going deeper on how to think about chord progressions, how to connect the dots. So in this case, this is the key of G. So we have the 1 chord. I put the Roman numerals below because you need to learn this, okay? 1, G, minor 2, A, minor 3, B minor, the 4, C, the 5, D, the minor 6, E minor, relative minor, and then the half diminished, F sharp. There's 1 sharp in the key G, it's F sharp. You just gotta know this stuff. It's okay if you don't. So this is how pros think about chord progressions. This is how advanced players, this is where I want you to go. And we're gonna use triads as the spine. We'll get to that in just a minute. The ebook is linked below, okay? So if we were playing a G, C, D, or a G, D, C, a lot of players are just gonna think in shapes. And they're gonna just think, oh, I'm playing. They're not gonna connect the dots. What I want you to do is keep going to the next level. This is building your system. So like a pro player thinks, okay, boom, 1 chord, G, okay? 1 chord G, 4 chord C, right? It's right on the chart too. 5 chord D, all right? Now you could play 1, 5, 4, G, D, C. Doesn't matter, you choose. All right, so let me show you like kind of how we move from that thinking to translating it on the neck. Now we're gonna use triads to function within this framework, okay? So let's go to the next chart, boom. This does not need to be a long drawn out process. This is very simple. Now, what you can see I did here is I kept the 3 triads on the same string set. And we just did this lesson. I put all 3 of them on here because I know you can connect the dots. This is a G, okay? This is a G major triad in the DGB string set. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. So inside of every chord, there's a structure, all right? So this is the spine of a G chord. Open chord G, G major triad, G, B, D. Now if we move it up, we have C major triad, C, E, G. We'll just do a 1, 4, 5 chord progression for now, okay? Again, this is how you need to think. And then move the same shape up, 1, 3, 5, D major triad. Now I didn't put the notes on this chart on purpose because I want you to really anchor in on this is the root, okay? So if you know I can move that anywhere, you can figure out what chord or what triad you're playing. So this is G, C, D, okay? So root, okay? This is it. Your quality, this is what determines major minor, is a major third, okay? 1 to the 3, 5, G, B, D, C, E, G, D, F sharp, A. Now your homework is gonna be to put this together. I've been doing a lot of polls on here and most players, hundreds of votes, are just randomly practicing. They're not going deeper or putting just a simple structure together like this. All right, so what you need to do is realize there's all these beautiful triad shapes on the neck, but drill down deeper and go, okay, it's not just the 1, 3, 5, which it is, but this is G, B, D. So we're gonna outline our G, C, D like this, right? To the C, D, back to G. And I do this other thing a lot where I show you this great exercise of going from open chord to triad, open chord to triad, open chord to triad, and then back to open chord. Your musicality, your musicianship, you, is what determines what you're gonna play on the instrument, what comes out. What delicious cupcakes of sound you create for everyone's ears to hear. All right, you following me here. I'm trying to put the thinking process in here. So a lot of people, I just did a poll, I wanna know, drop in the comments right now, what are you thinking while you play chord progressions? Are you thinking anything? Are you targeting triads? Are you thinking of the notes? Are you thinking of the key? This is what I want you to do. I want you to start thinking like that, okay? Now let's go to the next chart. To keep it simple and put a constraint on ourselves to practice what I preach, this is another G, C, D set of triads. But in this case, we're on the G, B, high E string set. But again, I put 1, 3, 5. So guess what? Up here, this 1, 3, 5, there's your G. And we're gonna get to the cherry on top for this in just a minute, the fun part, okay? When you slide all the way down here to the 5th fret bar, right here on the G and B string, and then the high E on the 3rd fret, that's a C, C, E, G, okay? This is how you learn the notes on the neck, and it makes sense, not just learning them by themselves. Doesn't do you any good to know where every C is if you don't understand the context of how to make music with it. And then you just slide it up, D, and then back home to G. Why is G home again? Because that's our 1 chord. We're in the key of G, just like that first chart. And that first chart is on the first page of this beautiful ebook I made for you, linked from my Dropbox for free because I love you, okay? And I really want you to experience this. Now, do the same thing. Let's just roll 1, 4, 5 or G, C, D. C, right? Practice arpeggiating. Okay, what you're really trying to always have at the forefront of your mind too, this is without even saying, is rhythm is king. Without that, you have nothing. We don't even really need to state that anymore. That's just a fact. So whether you're arpeggiating it or just doing little downstrokes, watch this. Simple exercise on this string set. Okay, C, D, back to C. Okay, now let me see if I can fit both charts here, although a little smaller, because now what I want you to see is the deepest level of this, not the deepest level, but going deeper, is now let's think like a songwriter. Now, what would a pro do? Now, if they're playing this G major triad on the DGB string set, 1, 3, 5, okay? Maybe they'll voice lead, which means staying really close, and they'll just go into the C here, this triad on the GB high E, and you have these charts now, okay? Burn these in your brain, I'm telling you. This is gonna like unleash your playing to the next level. You'll be a beast on the guitar, okay? So C, okay, excuse me, G, put 1 chord, to the 4 chord, to the 5 chord, back to the 1 chord, okay? Now, what could we do? What else could we do? Just think of combinations. Let's go up to the 1 chord here on the high GB high E string set, okay? G, and then let's do this. We'll voice lead right here by staying in close proximity. Then we'll go to DGB string set, C and D, okay? I know we're saying a lot of letters here. You'll get this, watch. G, okay? See that? Watch, right into the C, to the D, to the G, okay? It's a mouthful. C, to the D. So this is kind of like how the next level players think. And a lot of the pros I've played with and I've seen and I've picked their brains, I just sit back and observe them and see what they do, and then we talk about it. And this is what they're doing. So they're thinking the key of G, G, C, D. They're thinking 1, 4, 5. There's your Nashville numbering system. That's their language down there in that beautiful part of the country, okay? So I'm gonna keep hammering triads because they're the most important thing. Now, what I want you to do to bookend this, and then I want you to come back and drop in the comments how much this is helping you, is I want you to practice flowing between open chords. Okay, open chords are always gonna be beautiful home, right? Using open strings, you gotta use those. And then the triad shapes. So you could do this as a perfect exercise, and then we'll finish up and get you going. G to the triad, G to the triad. You could go from the G to the high triad, watch this. I'm hitting that on the upstroke. See that? That's how you create flow. And then we go C to the triad, or C to the triad, or D to the triad, or D to the triad, back to G. Just flow like the jellyfish. Major pentatonic is not on the scalar charts. All right, listen, this is what makes it fun. So I want you to grab the ebook below. It has these 3 triads. It's just 2 shapes, but I want you to think beyond that. It's this 1, 3, 5 on the DGB string set, and then the 1, 3, 5 on the GB high E string set, okay? Now, are these the only ones? Of course not, but you gotta build out from somewhere. You gotta start building your musical pillar system, house, whatever you wanna call it. Have fun with it. Come back, let me know how this is going. Use those open strings. Why? This is how advanced guitar players think. Why would we want to use open strings in the key of G? Well, because they all fit into the key. There's only one sharp, F sharp. There are no open strings. Hopefully, if you're in standard or tuned flat, there's no F sharps. You mean it's just gonna fit the key, all right? So have fun with it. Flow like the jellyfish. Create the combinations like I'm doing here. Flat 5 in there, I cheated. All right, you guys get this. Guitar's supposed to be fun, okay? It will become more fun if you keep coming back here and buckle down and get this stuff done. So we're gonna keep it rolling. Grab the ebook, drop in the comments, What are you thinking? I'm curious. We all want to know. Let's share. What are you thinking when you're playing chord progressions? Okay? Or are you just trying to keep up? All right. I will see you guys in the next video. Drop jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. Please don't hate me for talking about triads over and over. They are going to be like the best thing ever for all of us. They just are. Okay. See you in the next video. Keep going. Peace.